Γεια σας και καλώς ήρθατε στο euronews. Ο Πρωθυπουργός του Ισραήλ επαναλαμβάνει συνεχώς ότι ο πόλεμος δεν έχει τελειώσει. Ωστόσο, η εγχειρία συνεχίζεται προκειμένου να απελευθερωθούν περισσότεροι όμηροι από τη Χαμάς. Την ίδια ώρα, το Τελ Αβίβ απαντά ότι η Χαμάς έχει στήσει τα αρχηγεία της μέσα σε νοσοκομεία, στην έντονη κριτική που δέχεται για τις επιχειρήσεις σε νοσοκομεία στη λωρίδα της Γάζας. Για όλα αυτά συζητούμε με τον ανώτερο διπλωμάτη του Ισραήλ, Τζοέλ Λίον, που υπηρετεί ως εκπρόσωπος του Υπουργείου Εξωτερικών αυτή την περίοδο. Ambassador, thank you for joining us today. The ceasefire continues and that raises hopes for peace, but at the same time we have various incidents that seem to be threatening this ceasefire. Do you think that there's any chance that we are seeing the end of this war?
Look, the end of this war will come when Hamas will be destroyed. It must be understood to everyone in the world. Israel was attacked on October 7th. Our people were killed. Citizens were killed, were raped, were burned alive. The only purpose of this war was to destroy Hamas and not to have any more a threat on our border. So it is a temporary ceasefire. It is a temporary pause in the war while we are trying to get our hostages back. I mean, come on. 230 people were abducted by this terror organization. They don't even let the International Red Cross come and look how the people feel. So, yes, the end of the war will come when Hamas will disappear and when there will be no more threats to the state of Israel coming from the Gaza Strip.
How many are the hostages that are still being held by Hamas? Do you have any information concerning them?
Yes, we presume that there are some 140 still in the hands of Hamas. Among them, I wish to remember that there is still a 10-month-old baby with his brother and mother who are held as hostages. So who can be so cruel and held a baby as a hostage?
You said before that the war is going to be over when Hamas is completely destroyed. What is the situation on the ground right now? What is there left for IDF to do in Gaza Strip?
We have a lot of work. There are still divisions of the Hamas terrorists armed to the teeth with Iranian arms. I wish to say it again that Iran is behind the Hamas, not to forget. So they are armed to the teeth. They are ready to kill everyone, including their own citizens, in order to hold power there. So, as we said, the first goal of this war and the reason that we entered the Gaza Strip was to get rid of Hamas.
There has been a lot of criticism over IDF's operation in Al-Shifa hospital. Could you please tell us what is the situation there right now? Is the hospital operating? Because from what I understand, this is a big complex. Is the hospital operating right now? Are the soldiers inside? Which is the situation exactly?
Look, the Shifa hospital was used as a terror base. According to international humanitarian law, if civilian objects is being used as military objects, so it is legitimate for the belligerent party to enter this object and to do whatever they have to do in order not to have this object to be a threat to our troops. So we did what we had to do in the Shifa hospital. We took all the precautions in the world. We brought with us medical teams. We brought with us even incubators. All the propaganda that you hear from Hamas is, again, a psychological game with the world in order to call up the world. Oh, come on, we are the good guys. Don't forget who Hamas is. Don't forget that Hamas is playing with all the people. Yes, the IDF entered Shifa. Yes, the IDF discovered their tunnels, underground tunnels. Yes, the IDF discovered their arms and arm caches. Okay, so yes, the IDF was there. Yes, the IDF destroyed the places where these arms were. And no, the IDF hasn't destroyed the hospital, and the hospital can work. But the director of the hospital was arrested. He was arrested because he was collaborating with terrorists. I mean, you saw the footage of the CCTV of the hospital where the terrorist brought a person, I think it was somebody from Nepal or Philippines, who was not harmed, not injured, and they brought him into the hospital.
So there are patients in the hospital right now. The hospital is operating, from what I understand.
I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm sorry. What I know is that we are doing our utmost in order not to harm non-involved people. So that's what is important again. The important thing is not if the hospital is operating or not operating. The important thing is if the hospital is a terror base or not anymore a terror base. If the hospital is a threat to not only to Israel, but to the Gazan people. Again, operating from a hospital put in danger the Gazan people. That's what Hamas is doing.
I understand what you say, but it's also important if a hospital operates, because as we said, it's a huge complex and it serves a lot of people. We're supposed to have thousands of patients. This is why I insist, if the hospital is working, if the patients have been transferred elsewhere, we even saw babies in incubators. The IDF brought incubators in the hospital. That's why I'm asking about the situation.
I cannot confirm anything about this because I don't have the latest information about this. But please, instead of trying to see what's happening in Shifa Hospital right now, ask maybe Hamas, if they are ready, why they don't let the ICRC, the International Red Cross, checking upon the hostages that they are holding. Why are they continuing the terror attacks, including this morning in Jerusalem? Thinking about the actual situation always. That's always because we know how the cycle of news is working, and there is no time to explain the situation. But we shouldn't forget that Hamas, in its charter, do not recognize the right of existence of the state of Israel. So let's begin from the beginning. Let's see with whom we are dealing. And sorry to say, but if we are not going after Hamas now, Hamas will go after you in Europe tomorrow.
International organizations say that there are no humanitarian corridors inside the Gaza Strip, so they cannot get the help to those who need it. This is true?
No, it's not true. There are corridors. The trucks are going through these corridors in the north, in the south. So it's not true. It is again propaganda and lies.
We have seen hostages being released the last days. As you said, we're not close to the end of the war until Hamas is destroyed. Is Israel under pressure from the international community to end this war?
No, we are not. The international community understands the situation. The international community understands that Hamas is an ISIS-like organization and that we don't have a choice. We have to continue. Of course, we have to take all the precautions in the world in order not to hurt the non-involved. But, I'm saying but, who are the non-involved? Where are the non-involved? Why is the Hamas not letting them go to the south where we opened a secure zone? Why is Hamas using its own people as human shields?
Turkey, though, President Erdogan has lashed out repeatedly at Israel. In general, you said you feel the support from the international community. What do you think about Turkey's stance in the matter?
I wish to ask you, I know that you are broadcasting from Greece, so what are you thinking about Turkey's statements? I mean,
My opinion doesn't matter in any case. So.
I know, you're a journalist, it's okay. But anyhow, we know the anti-Semitic rhetoric of President Erdogan. We heard it before. I don't think that Turkey today is interested in any real solution. Turkey is looking for one thing, it's their own interest and the survival of the, I would say, of its own government.
What is Israel's vision for Gaza? I mean, you said when the war is going to stop when Hamas is completely destroyed. So let's say that the IDF achieves its goal. What the next day is going to look like for Gazans?
Look, it is really a hard question right now, why we are only at the beginning of the war, and Hamas is still very strong and holding all the Gazans as hostages, not only the Israelis as hostages. So what we are sure of is that Hamas will not be there, and the Gaza Strip should be demilitarized and not being a threat to Israel. How it will be done, I think that we will have to sit with our partners and to see what's possible and what is the best way for everyone. On one side, that Gaza will not be a threat to Israel, and that the people of Gaza will be able to live a normal life.
Do you think there's any chance we can see a long-term solution to this conflict you have been having with the Palestinians for decades? A viable long-term solution?
Yes, I understand your point, but the point is that if the Palestinians would be able, or let's say the Palestinian leadership, I don't like to say the Palestinians, because we don't have any conflict with the people. We have a conflict with the organizations who are holding these people as hostages, and I'm pretty sure that the moment that the Palestinian leaders will care for their own people, I think then we will see a solution in the future, because right now they don't care for their people.
Okay, but you think there is a long-term solution? There can be a long-term solution? There's a formula, I mean, there's a model that maybe you have in mind. This is what I mean.
I think if I would have the model in mind, I would get the Nobel Prize tomorrow morning. But we have to, again, there were a lot of tries, a lot of things that we tried. We tried and we tried and we tried and we hoped. And we were sure that it was the best thing. Look, 2004, we left the Gaza Strip. We were sure Gaza will be the new Singapore of the Middle East. And after a couple of months, Hamas, ISIS took the leadership there. Yes, maybe it was a mistake to let them have elections, but that was the thing. So we are afraid of the future. We are afraid of the future because we see who is leading the Palestinian people.
How can letting people have free elections could ever be a mistake?
You're right. But to have free elections means that some parties who are not democratic should not be able to run in these elections. That's what we should have been more careful in this case.
I understand. Thank you very much for this discussion, Ambassador.
You're welcome.